Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality unbleached bromate-free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited, 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Prices on all grocery items. Trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Sun and Main Road, Canupia.
Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to C Results on IBN TV, as well as the IBN TV Facebook page and the C Results Facebook page. I am Sir Ijaz, and today is Monday, and this is actually the very last week of the home stretch series of the first season of C Results. All right, from next week, our Standard 5 students are going to be back out in school for that crucial final month's preparation with their teachers, and we are going to respect that time with their teachers and give them the opportunity to work alongside their teachers and to do the extra work that they may be given, to do when they go home. We know it's going to be very tough on them, having been away from school for so long, and to get back into their exam mode, to get back into that frame of mind. Hopefully we did our part to help you all, remain at least on the button or on the ball somewhat. And it has been our pleasure in doing so. So let's try to make the most of this final week here on C Results. And of course, we look forward to be working with you all in the future, particularly our Standard 4 students who will be moving up into Standard 5 very soon. All right, so of course, you can find us on Facebook on C Results or at C Results, IBN TV 8. We are there. We are also on Instagram. And you can find us on YouTube, where all of our past episodes are recorded, all 54 episodes of the original first season before school, was postponed, and also all the episodes that we've done. By the end of this week, we would have done, God willing, 20 further episodes for this first season, right? And of course, we have our Edmodo class, where you can continue to do our quizzes and assignments. This will be the last set of quizzes and assignments that are posted. They were posted on Sunday and they are due on Friday. And we also have one assignment that is due on Wednesday. It is a creative writing assignment, but it's an assignment with a bit of a twist, just like how we ended our previous or the original first season with some very nice content from our students to help inspire and motivate each other through that time, which was during the height of the pandemic, or the pandemic is still raging on, but when we were very uncertain in Trinidad and Tobago about what would be the outcome here, right? But now we similarly want you all to motivate and to push each other to get back into that frame of mind and to feel confident about going into your exams. So we are opening that space for you. That assignment has been created, and it's due on Wednesday at 6 p.m. You can write anything you feel to write, about your own experiences, about your preparation, how you're feeling, how you want the nation to feel, your peers, your comrades at school, and so on. The floor is open for you, and on Thursday we'll be reading as many of those as we can in the second hour. And of course, if you want to do a poem instead of a prose piece of writing, it's all up to you. Even if you want to draw something, make a video, no problem. That space is there. It's available to you. So let's just take a look now at our top performers from our quizzes on the last set of quizzes that were due on Friday at 11:59 p.m. All right. That is our habit and our custom on a Monday. So, right, we have 251 students now who have been working with us on the home stretch, all right, which is the extension to the first season of C Results. And we have about 38% of the parents following their progress. And by the way, we will leave the Edmodo class up and running for students to assist each other. That has been a crucial element of the Edmodo page, where students, they post questions and they help each other out, and the answers are sometimes moderated by myself or Miss Nyla if they are particularly difficult questions that people are having trouble with, okay? So you all can use that space to continue to assist each other and to seek our assistance where possible up until the date of the exam. All right, but in the interim, of course, as I said, we have your math and English due on Friday, and you have that special creative writing assignment due on Wednesday. So 108 students submitted the ELA assignment this week. 88% of the students passed that assignment with a 69% average, and that was a poetry assignment, right? And 107 students submitted the mathematics piece or part of a practice paper that we have posted, and we've continued that practice paper this weekend with more questions from it have been posted, right? And 63% of the students passed with a 55% average, a bit better than some of the more difficult quizzes that we've posted of late, but I am still going to take some time to go through those questions. As 55% average, we want to raise that a bit. But we have been working actually on a practice paper here over the past two weeks or so, into our third week now, and we intend to finish that entire paper all the way up to number 5 by the end of this final week here. So the section 3 questions for that paper, which are the more time-consuming one, the more challenging ones, we'll be working on that on Thursday, God willing, right, in the first hour of C Results. And this week, actually, we were only able to get one student who got 100% in both the ELA as well as the mathematics, a student who has really been shining ever since we came back with the home stretch series of episodes. And that is Andy-Ann Joseph, and she has been calling us from time to time on the program as well. So congratulations, Andy-Ann, for all the hard work you are putting in. I am actually not sure if Andy-Ann is in Standard 5 or 4, but if you are indeed in Standard 5, we wish you, as well as all of our students who have been putting in the work, the very best of luck in your exam, right? And of course, we did have some students who were able to come quite close to getting total in math and English this week, or last week rather. Riazdin Mohammed, Rocco, Dominique, Zubair, Kyle, Joseph, and Christian, right? Well done, guys. Congratulations to you. Keep it up. Some of those names we have seen many times before, if not here or in the 100% crew. Also, some of them have made appearances on the creative writing list. And this week we had, again, an expository writing piece. Last week was a narrative, right? So the one due on Friday was an expository. And this, again, is an area where students, it's not as free-flowing, it's not as fun and imaginative as the narrative style writing, and it's very easy for students to make, to fall back into the narrative writing patterns, because I guess it comes a bit more naturally than writing the very fact-based report style writing. But nevertheless, we have Sachin Ramdani and Devanand Bujram who did very well on on that assignment. And we did have several students who got between 16 to 18 out of 20 as well. So, all is not bad actually in the expository. We have seen some improvement, and we hope that you all continue that upward trend. All right. So again, this week's assignment is due on Wednesday at 6 p.m. That is for the creative writing in particular, and it's kind of an open forum, but we're going to keep it about inspiring each other, motivating each other for the SAA exam, getting yourself and your peers back into that fighting spirit, and hopefully, it will have an impact. You guys seeing your work up there, your words of encouragement, your peers might see something that you've written that's heartfelt, and it might just give them that extra push. So please make an effort to submit that, okay? So we're going to get back in now to that practice paper that we've been doing. We're going to go up to number 40 on the paper, which should be the end of section 2. We'll leave section 3 for Thursday, and we are going to go through those questions from the quiz that was due on Friday, because we did okay, but we can do better, right? So the numbers are going to be put on the screen for you now, of course, and you can give us a call and help us to work through these remaining 6 questions from section 2, and then we'll move on to our corrections for that quiz that was posted last week, all right? So as soon as we get a call, we'll get a student to read this question for us, and then we'll attempt to answer it. And of course, we're very interested in hearing your thought process and not just the answer. That has been our custom here so far on the program, and we intend to keep it that way. All right, and of course, don't be afraid to make a mistake. When you make a mistake, many others share that same misconception at times, and it does help. Clarify that for people who share similar misunderstanding. So we have a caller on the line now. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Aidan.
Hey, welcome, Aidan. How are you doing today?
Good, and you?
Not too bad. So would you read this question for us, please, Aidan?
Okay. The shape below was formed after folding a piece of paper along a vertical line of symmetry, followed by a fold along a horizontal line of symmetry. How many right angles would the piece of paper had before it was folded?
Right. What do you think we need to do here, Aidan?
Okay, so first you need to find what shape it was before it was folded and count up how many right angles it had. Right.
So how would we do that? How would we unfold the shape, you think?
So the upside down L is a horizontal line of symmetry, so you fold it back to have like 2 L's together, but yeah, 2 L's together.
Right, but pointing the opposite direction, right?
Yes.
I agree with that. And then what next?
Then it had a vertical line of symmetry.
Yes, and pardon my drawing, right? I'm a bit limited here with my movement. So this would have been the horizontal line of symmetry, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it was folded along a vertical line of symmetry, and then a horizontal line of symmetry, right?
Yes.
So where do you think that vertical line of symmetry is?
It'll be like on top of the T.
Right. So therefore, what would you describe this shape as?
A compound shape.
Yes, it is a compound shape. But I was thinking more along the lines of what does it look like? Do you agree that the shape would look something like this? Are you seeing it on the screen?
No.
All right, so just give it a second again.
It looks like a cross.
Right, a cross, yes.
But then you'll find how many right angles it has.
Mm-hmm. So how many right angles do you think this shape has?
12.
12. But we're actually looking for the right angles inside the shape, right?
Yes.
Okay. So where are those 12 that you're seeing? Are you sure it's 12?
1. No, it will be 8.
Eight right angles, right?
Yes.
And what is another term for right angle, Aidan?
Perpendicular.
Okay, perpendicular. And what do we use in like on a compass or when we're telling time, when we're using clocks to learn angles? We have another very famous term for it that we should know. It's also called a quarter turn, right?
Oh, yes.
Right, very good, a quarter turn. So we need to remember that a quarter turn and a right angle is the same thing, and it represents how many degrees, Aidan?
90.
90 degrees. All right, well done, Aidan. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, so actually, guys, the shape was folded along the vertical line of symmetry first, followed by a fold along the horizontal line of symmetry. So in actuality, we would have drawn this vertical line of symmetry first. Aidan did it sort of in the reverse here, right, by unfolding it along the vertical line of symmetry first. But if we're working backward, we should really be retracing our steps. So we start by drawing a symmetrical figure about the horizontal line of symmetry, right? That's our first unfold there. And now we look for the vertical line of symmetry, and we continue to unfold, all right? And we will end up back basically with the same figure, but this is the right order in which we were to unfold, right? About the horizontal first, and then we unfold about the vertical line of symmetry. And as he said, we end up with something here like a cross or a giant plus sign, and we are asked to find the number of right angles the paper have before it was folded, and we are actually looking for the angles within the figure, the right angles within the figure, and that would give us our number 8. All right, so let's move on to another very interesting question, and I see I have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
It's Aaron. Good evening.
Hi, good afternoon, Aaron, and how are you doing?
Good.
All right, Aaron, can you read this question for us, please?
Okay. You can zoom a little.
All right, it will be zoom. You will see it zoom very shortly.
Part of a pattern of formed by the movement of a dot around a hexagon is shown in the diagram below. See the dots on the diagram below to show its position in 14 hexagons.
All right. So first of all, what is a hexagon?
A hexagon has six sides.
6 sides. Very good. So do you understand what is taking place here with this pattern?
There's a pattern going on there.
Yes, there's a pattern going on, right? And we
Yeah.
have been shown from the 21st hexagon to the 32nd hexagon, right? And
Yeah.
we'll notice that the dot is moving along the hexagon. Now, by looking at the hexagons, Aaron, can you tell me what direction the dot is moving in, clockwise or anti-clockwise?
It is going clockwise.
Yes, clockwise, right? Clockwise. It's moving.
Clockwise 3 to 1.
3 for 1?
Yeah.
All right, tell me what you mean by that 3 for 1. It's moving what? It's moving along 3 of the vertices and then 1?
Yeah.
All right. So from the 21st to the 22nd, it moved from this bottom right corner here, bottom left corner to the top left corner, right? So it actually moved 1, 2.
Yeah, because you're moving 1 and then it going to the next one. It's skipping 1 and it going on to the next one.
Right. And then when it's on the straight part of the hexagon, right?
Yeah.
It's only moving 1. Yes?
Yeah.
And then again, when it's on the side of the hexagon where those 2 edges meet there, how many spaces did it move?
1.
It moved 1, 2. All right?
Oh.
And then again, on the straight piece, on the opposite side from the 23rd, how many spaces did it move to get to the bottom left again?
It is 2 to 2.
From the 24th hexagon here to the 25th, it moved how many spaces?
It moved. It moved 1.
Yes, once. And then again, when it's on this side of the hexagon where those 2 edges meet there, right?
Yeah.
How many spaces did it move again?
1.
From the 25th to the 26th.
The 25th to the 26th.
Yeah. Two, right? And then guess how many is going to move now? Along the straight.
Which one you will move now?
Yeah, from the 26th to the 27th.
2.
Okay, it moves 1, right? From the top,
move 1.
from the top left to the top right. Good?
All right.
And similarly, whenever it's on this, it's going to move along this edge here where where those 2 edges meet, right? It moves 2 spaces in a clockwise direction, right?
Okay.
And then when it's on the straight, right? Either the top or the bottom, it only moves how many spaces? It moves one spot. One spot.
Space.
Right? And then again, it moves 2.
You move 2 spaces.
To here, and then it moves 1 along the straight, and then it moves 2 again.
2. It's kind of like a pattern.
Right, so it keeps going 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, what hexagon are we interested in here, in finding where the dot is?
The 14th.
The 14th, right?
Yeah.
So are we going forward with our pattern or backward with our pattern here?
Backward.
Backward. So the last pattern or the first pattern that we have, the first hexagon is the 21st, right?
Yes.
And where is the dot on the 21st? In the bottom?
In the bottom.
The bottom left, right?
Yeah, the bottom left.
Right. So now instead of going clockwise, we have to go
Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise, right? So again, when it's moving along this straight edge here, the top or the bottom, it moves only how many?
1.
1, right? So it will move here now. And that will be which hexagon?
That will be the 20th.
The 20th, right?
Yeah.
All right, very good. So we have the 20th now.
So,
And where would it be for the 19th then, you think?
I will think it will move to the bottom right.
Okay, well, the bottom right is where it is for the 20th. Because it moved from the bottom left, which was the 21st. And when we are moving along that top or bottom edge, right? The straight edge, if you'd like to call it that, it only moves 1 space, right? Yeah. So it moved in an anti-clockwise direction to the bottom right. So we continue in that anti-clockwise direction. But now we're on that side of the hexagon that has those two edges meeting at an angle, right?
Yes.
And how many spaces does it move along those edges, Aaron? You can look at the pattern above for a hint.
It moves 2, 1.
Two is correct.
2 or
Yeah.
2.
Right? So now we're here for the 19th. All right?
Yeah.
Good, good. Don't give up yet, don't give up yet. And now we are continuing that movement in the anti-clockwise direction. And we are again on the straight edge, which is either the top or the bottom. So how many spaces is it going to jump now?
It will move 1 space.
1 space, very good. So it will move here, and that will be our, which hexagon?
Yeah, 19.
The 18th, right?
The 18th.
Yeah, the 18th. Now we have to move again along the side where the two edges are meeting there at an angle, and it's moving how many spaces there now?
So we're moving on to 17 now.
Moving on to the 17th, right?
Yeah.
All right, very good.
It moving 2 spaces.
2 spaces to the 17th, very good.
It'll
And how much it will move now?
move 1 space.
1 space, very good. 1 space, and that will be which hexagon?
On the 17th?
The 16th. We are now on the 17th there, right?
Oh.
All right, and where will the 15th go?
The 50 will go. The 50 will move 2 spaces.
2 spaces to the top right, and that is our 15th.
And the 14th
Yeah.
will move 1 space.
1 space anti-clockwise, right?
Yeah.
So where would that be?
That will be in the top right,
Or the top left,
the top left.
right? Agreed?
Yeah.
All right. So I know that it can be a little bit disorienting there, how you're looking at it on the television screen. But I want you to look at this afterwards, replay the video, and you just pause it and look at the 21st, look at the pattern that we figured out, right? It's moving in 2s and then 1, right? 1 along the straight edge,
Okay.
and 2 where the 2 edges meet, right?
Yeah.
And you just reverse that pattern now from being clockwise to being anti-clockwise, right?
Clockwise, because they're moving backwards.
Exactly. And retrace your steps, and you will realize that the 14th hexagon, the dot is in the top left position. Good?
Okay.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much for working with us.
You're welcome.
All right, so that question there, that took some doing, all right? And
Yeah.
I mean, right, thank you so much, Aaron. So this is the approach that you have to take, really. You have to figure out the pattern, just like if we have a sequence of numbers and we have to figure out the rule, and then we can use that rule to determine a certain term in the sequence or the pattern. It's the same thing here, but it's graphic. All right, so, you know, in a situation like this, I would just begin by figuring out the pattern, right? Remember, the pattern here that's given is it's moving in ascending order, right? But now we want a hexagon that went before. So whatever is the pattern going forward, we have to reverse that, right? We have to move in the opposite direction. So the dot here was moving in a clockwise direction. To get back to the 14th, we have to move it in an anti-clockwise direction. We figure out the pattern, and we essentially move the dot using the same rule, but in the reverse. And then you will end up with the dot there on the 14th hexagon in that position over there, right? So it's just something that you really have to reason out and take your time and think it through properly, and try not to rush it, because as you saw, we had to move back several hexagons to get to the 14th. So Here we have another question here now in geometry, right? And I see I have a call on the line, so I'll take the call. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Mark.
Welcome, Mark. So,
I was
Mark,
a little bit nervous before, but I already know.
you're ready now?
Yeah.
Yes, you were doing well last time. You know, we got through 2/3 of the question last time, man. All right. So these types of questions are always a bit tricky to work through through the television because you can't come here and draw it for me, right? But I will try to ask you some questions here now. So first of all, can you read this question for us?
Draw lines to connect the dots to form an irregular octagon with the following properties. It has 2 lines of symmetry and it has 2 right angles.
All right, good. So first of all, what is an octagon?
An octagon is an 8-sided shape.
An 8-sided shape, very good. Now, what do you think they mean by an irregular octagon?
All the lines are not even, all the edges.
Right, all the edges are not the same length, right?
Yes.
And all the angles within the shape are not equal either. So, how many dots are you seeing here on this graph sheet?
11.
11, right? But how many vertices would you expect the octagon to have?
8.
8, very good. So do you think we'll be using all 11 of those dots?
No.
No, so that's one thing to consider, right? Now,
Yeah.
are you seeing any dots there where we can get the right angles, 2 right angles?
Yes.
All right, try to describe it for me, and if not, I will help you out because I know it will be tricky.
At the top right and a little bit below it.
Okay, are you speaking about this?
Yes.
Right, and where is the other right angle?
Right above it.
Okay, right, there is a right angle here. But remember, we want to be able to connect all of them and that there should be 2 lines of symmetry, right? So if I were to finish or close the shape off, would I have 8 sides?
No.
How many sides I have there?
6.
6, right? So that won't be the answer. But you're doing well so far. Can you see any other right angle anywhere?
At the top right.
Very good, at the top right. So we have another right angle here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how many sides we have there so far? We have 4 sides, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now we have to try and close out this figure now so that we'll get 8 sides. And we've already used 6 vertices, right? Or 6 of the dots means 6 vertices. So how many more dots you think we need to use?
2 more.
2 more dots. So which 2 dots you think we need to use there?
We have to connect the top right dot to the bottom left dot.
To the bottom left dot. You mean down here?
Not those dots, the dots in the middle.
All right, so we could connect one here, and we can connect one here. And then what now? We're almost there.
We could connect the bottom left ones with the ones we already did.
With the ones we already did?
Yeah.
Right, very good. So right now, how many sides does this figure have?
8.
8. So it is an octagon, right?
Yeah.
And how many right angles do we have?
2.
Right. Is this a regular octagon?
No, It's an irregular octagon.
Right. So we irregular. We have our two lines of symmetry. No, sorry, we have our two right angles. It's irregular. It's an octagon. So how do we check for these lines of symmetry now? Can you see two lines of symmetry in this octagon?
Yeah.
Try to describe those lines for me.
Through the middle and...
So we have one diagonal line here.
Yeah. And a cross.
And a
in
cross.
a diagonal.
Like that?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so mine isn't drawn perfectly, but if you connected the dots better there on a sheet of paper, you would notice that these are actually two lines of symmetry here, right?
Yeah.
You can either fold it this way or fold it that way. And remember,
you can't fold it that way.
Right, and one half should cover completely the other half. That's how we'll know it's a line of symmetry, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, thank you so much, Aaron. That is absolutely correct.
My name is Mark, not Aaron.
Sorry, yeah, Mark. My apologies, Mark. Thank you so much. All right, so that was Mark there in action, guys. And that is actually the solution to this problem, right? So again, it's a bit of trial and error here. Sometimes, you know, if you're a very visual-based learner or something like that, very artistic, you like to design, maybe you might look at that and just get it off the bat. But you saw there we used various steps to look for the properties that our figure should entail and try to, you know, pick the best arrangement so that it fits all of the criteria. Remember, it has to fit all of our criteria. And as you can see there, I've been questioning these guys on, you know, just the various properties and qualities of these shapes in the last 2 or 3 questions because we need to be on top of our shapes, right? On top of our plane shapes, on top of our solids. We need to understand the lines of symmetry and so on. And again, if you don't remember how to do those things, if you're a bit rusty, you can go to our YouTube channel. Those things were covered quite extensively in the first or the regular first season of C Results. So do look at our YouTube channel for those videos, right? So let's move on now. I have another question and I'm going to take a caller. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to C Results on IBN TV. Hi, good afternoon, caller. All right, so we seem to have lost that one. So here we're out of geometry now and we are into statistics, right? And we have the data below shows the number of stickers given to 10 children in a spelling bee competition. What percent of the children received less than the number of stickers that represented the mode? So we have to recall mode here and we are also dealing with percentages. So good afternoon, caller. Welcome to C Results on IBN TV.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum assalam. And who am I speaking with?
Riaz bin Mohammed.
Riaz, did you get a chance to read this question as yet?
No, I was actually trying to but
all right, no
so
problem.
I'll take a chance not to read it.
Right, and read it for our audience, please.
Yes. The data below shows the numbers of stickers given to 10 children in a spelling bee competition. What percent of children received less than the number of that represented the mode?
Right, the number of stickers that represented the mode. So what is our first step here, Riaz?
Our first step is to find the mode, basically.
All right. And what do you think is the mode here amongst these numbers?
I could just take a little minute to just...
Yes, your eyes tend to play tricks on you for these questions, so take your time and look at it.
Okay. The number is 16.
16, right?
Yes, because out of all the numbers, 16 is the most repeated.
Very good, and that is our mode. So now we have a mode of 16. What does the question require us to do?
They told us to find the percent of children that receive less than the there's less than 16.
Right.
So we have to add up all the numbers that are less than 16 and every single number there by itself too. That is not a part of the under the mode and over the mode.
Okay. So how many numbers do we have that's below the mode?
How many numbers? Pardon me, actually?
How many numbers here fall below that mode of 16?
Well, excluding all the 16s, you have 15 and 14. 15, 14, and 11.
Right. 13, 14, 11, and you're missing one.
Pardon me, will you say that time?
You are missing one.
Oh, 13.
Sorry?
Yeah. 13 I missed out.
Right, 15. So how many numbers is that?
Well, with this excluding the 16, it will be 4.
4, right? So we have four numbers of stickers received by students that are below the mode, right?
Yes.
And how many students here, how many children here do we have altogether in this bit of data?
That we have to add up to find the percent of?
Yeah.
Or the reason 7 children.
How many?
7, because you have all the children, including who have 16 stickers.
And you're getting 7?
Yeah, because you have someone who have 14, you have someone who have 15, another who have 13, another who have 11, and 3 more others who have 16.
All right, so here's what's going on. Each one of these numbers here represents the number of stickers received by a child, right? And
Yes.
we said that the mode, or the most frequent number of stickers received by a child is 16, good?
Yeah.
Right, and we have 4 children that receive less than the mode, which is less than 16, being 14, 15, 13, and 11. So we have 4. But we want to find the percentage of children. So how many children do we have altogether here?
10.
10. So we have 4 children out of 10 receiving less than the mode. So what is 4 out of 10 as a percentage?
4 out of 10, that will be 40%.
Right, 4 out of 10 is 40%, right?
Yes.
So that is actually the answer that we are looking for. 40% of the children receive less than the number of stickers that represented the mode. Good?
Okay.
All right, Riaz, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. So, again, when we are dealing with the mode here, it always happens because there are going to be numbers that are repeated. And, you know, our mind just has this way of filling in the gaps. So you might be looking at the numbers and you may not see, you might miss a number here or there. So you have to be very careful when you're looking for the mode. Okay, so we looked through carefully. We saw that there were 3 instances of 16. So therefore 16 is the mode. And then we have to find out the percent of children that receive less than the mode. Now we are not adding these numbers together, right? That is very important here. That is a distinction that we have to make for this question, right? These numbers just represent the number of stickers that the students or the children received. So we have 14, 15, 13, and 11. That means one student received 14, one received 15, one received 13, and one received 11. And we have a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 children in all. All right, so we put the number of children that got below the mode, right, which is 16. So we can't include 16. We have to do those that are below 16. And we get 4 students in total out of 10, and that's very easy out of 10 to work the percentage, right? 4 out of 10 is 40%. So we have another question here. And I see that I have a caller on the line. I'm going to take this call. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Yes,
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Rylan.
Brian?
Rylan. Hello.
Yes, welcome. Is it Ryan or Brian?
Rylan. R-Y-L-A-N.
Rylon.
Yes.
All right, welcome, Rylon. So, can you read this question for us, please?
Aaron is 5 years older than Regan, but 8 years younger than Jonathan. Aaron is 12 years old. what is their average age?
Right. So what would we do? What would you do here, Rylan?
Wait just now, give me a second, please.
All right. It would be nice if you could tell us what you are thinking while you're doing it, right?
Okay, so Aaron is older than Regan. Wait, what? Older than Regan, but 8 years older than Jonathan.
All right. So can you ask whoever is with you to just to mute the volume on the television while we're on the phone, right? You can always rewatch it later on Facebook or on YouTube, okay?
Oh, okay. You can mute the... Okay, right.
Right. So whose age do we know for sure?
Aaron.
Right. We know Aaron's age, right? Or Aaron, as you say. And he is 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. So I'm just using A to represent Aaron. And he is 5 years older than Regan. So how old would that make Regan? If Aaron is 5 years older than Regan, what age would that put Regan at?
7.
7, right? Because Aaron is older, so you have to subtract 5 years there to get Regan's age. But 8 years younger than Jonathan, so therefore Aaron is 5 years older than Regan, but he is 8 years younger than Jonathan. So how old would Jonathan be?
20 years old.
20 years old. So those are the ages of Aaron, Regan, and Jonathan. So how would we find the average age now?
You have to add up all their ages and then divide it by 3.
Right. So add those up for me and tell me what that will be.
It's 49. Yeah. 49. Wait. Oh, 39, sorry.
39, right? And we're dividing by 3 because we have 3 individuals, right?
Yeah.
And what would 39 divided by 3 be?
13.
13, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the average age is 13 years. All right, so I'm guessing today is the first time you're calling us?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
All right, so remember, we are back in statistics now. This question has to do with average, but they are also testing your knowledge of time here in a sense, right? What comes before what comes after what. We are given the age of one of these individuals, Aaron being 12. So he is 5 years older than Regan, so don't make the mistake. We are saying older, you're thinking more, so you might be tempted to add there, right? But because Aaron is older, that means Regan is younger, right? So you have to actually subtract those 5 years, and we get the 7, and Aaron is younger than Jonathan. Again, you're thinking younger, so you're thinking less. But the fact that he is younger than Jonathan makes Jonathan older than him. So therefore, we have to add the 8, and we get the 20 there. And we know we've learned about averages, about the arithmetic mean. Again, those videos are available to you on our YouTube channel, right? So please go look them up. And we have to divide the sum by the count. So the sum here would be all of their ages put together, right? And the count meaning the number of items that we are finding the average of. Here we have 3 individuals, and we divide, and we get 13 years, right? Pretty straightforward, but the age element of it can tie you up a little bit. Right, so here we have another statistical question. Do I have a caller? Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Hi, afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, and who am I speaking with?
This is Regan. I'm calling from a bit nervous.
Are you feeling nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nah, man, don't be nervous. How are you doing today, Regan?
I'm fine.
All right, so can you read this question for us, please?
Sure. A vendor sold of each type of smoothie at 2 different locations. The table below shows the number of each type of unsold smoothies at either location.
Right.
Determine the better location to sell smoothies.
Yes.
Okay, so looking at here, so we have a batch. So banana is 12. Banana at location A he sold 12. Location B he sold 25.
Mm-hmm.
Mango he sold 17 at location A and 20 at location B.
strawberry, he sold 20 at location A and 17 at location B. Apple, he sold 13 at location A, 10 at location B. Peach, he sold 18 at location A, 8 at location B. And melon, he sold 10 at location A and 4 at location B.
Right. So from the information given here, what do these numbers represent, Reagan? Because that is key for this question.
Okay, so the numbers represent how many smoothies he sold at each location.
How many were?
How many smoothies that were sold at each location.
Right, so that is where you would make a fatal mistake there. So I want you to read the second sentence in the beginning again very carefully.
Also, these numbers represent the 50 of each smoothie that he sold at the 2 different locations.
All right, but it is not the number that is sold, but the number that is
unsold.
Unsold, right? So that will make a world of difference when we're determining which one is better to sell the smoothies at, right?
Yep.
All right. Now, right, I'm not putting you on the spot there, but remember we have to take our time and analyze the questions carefully. Because I know you know what to do, but just by misreading that one word, you would put a totally wrong answer. You understand?
Yeah, I know.
Right. So, 12 banana smoothies unsold at location A, and 17, and 20, and 13, and 8, and 10. So those are the different types of smoothies, and those were the unsold at location A. So what would we have to do now? What do you think we're going to do with those numbers?
We're going to add them up.
Right. So you go ahead and add that up for me.
Hold on, I'm going to work it out.
Yeah, you take a moment, and everybody at home should be doing the same thing.
Hold on. Okay, so location A is 90 smoothies.
Right, so 90 smoothies remain
unsold at location A.
Right, remain unsold. And what about location B?
Okay, so can you just give me a minute to add up?
Sure, sure.
Thank you. Okay, so I got 84 smoothies for location B.
Right, 84 smoothies, right?
Yeah, 84 unsold at location B.
Unsold. So what will you do next, Reagan?
Okay, so we have to find out which is a better place to sell at.
Right.
And the better place is location B.
Why is it location B?
Hold on. Okay, so location B, you could sell it, location B, the place to sell because less smoothies remain. And when less smoothies remain, you sold a lot.
Right.
So, and at location A, you have more smoothies remaining than location B. That's like a little more remaining from the smoothies sold at location B.
Very good. So we have more unsold at location A, and we have less unsold at location B. So that's why the location that's selling more, you would want to use that as the better location, right? And
the location selling less. I mean, the location, yes, right, sorry.
The location selling more would be the one with less unsold, right?
Yeah, the phone cut off.
And I'd just like to add that for these types of questions, although you are correct there because we are comparing the same types of smoothies, right? Banana, mango, strawberry, apple, peach, and melon. So technically, we don't really need to do this next step to see who is the winner here, right? But when in a circumstance like this, it's always best to just calculate the average.
That's true.
So you'll use your average in comparing which is better. So can you tell me what number we have to divide by to get the average here?
Hold on. So for average, we add up these two numbers here. So we add up for location A and location B, we got 90 and 84. So now we add 90 and 84 and divide by 2.
Okay, that will give me the average unsold for the two locations, right? Okay. But I want to know the average unsold at location A. So what would I have to divide by what?
I have to divide 90 by 6.
Right, 90 by 6. Can you work that out quickly for me?
Sure. Hold on. Your answer there is 15.
15, right? And what about at location B?
Location B, we divide in 84 by 6 also.
Right, and that is?
Hold on. That will be 14.
14, right? So
yes.
On average, at location A, 15 smoothies were left unsold, right? That's across all different flavors. On average, 15 were unsold. And at location B, on average, 14 were unsold, right?
Yes.
So therefore, the better location here would be, as you said earlier, location
B.
Right? And the reason why you do this, Regan, is because you might notice, like look at banana, for example. At location B, there are 25 unsold banana smoothies, right? But at location A, there were only 12 unsold banana smoothies. So who did better for bananas?
Location B.
No, remember, it's unsold, right?
Oh, crap, location A, sorry.
Right, so location A actually sold better when it comes to bananas. So to try and even out that discrepancy from fruit to fruit, we find the average of all the different types of fruit smoothies, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, Regan, thank you so much for sticking through with us.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
You.
All right, guys. So that brings us actually to the end of today's program, right? Be reminded that you have your 2 quizzes due on Friday. This is our last week on the home stretch. We are giving you the opportunity, or the time that you need when you go back out to school for those for that next month in preparation for the SCA. You and your teachers are going to do the rest. Hopefully we've done our bit, and we have a bit more to do. We have tomorrow and Thursday, God willing. And don't forget to do that creative writing assignment on Wednesday, because you'll be reading from those on Thursday, and all the instructions are there. And I'm telling you, you can also submit artwork, you can submit videos, whatever you like, to give yourself and your peers that push going into SCA, all right? We didn't get to do the corrections, but again, the results weren't actually so bad for that. It could have been better. You did receive the right answers, however. But on Thursday, we'll work through questions 41 to 45, which is section 3 of a practice paper, and that way we'd have done an entire paper from start to finish here on our math segment of the home stretch, all right? So thank you so much for watching. Don't go anywhere. Miss Naila will be up very shortly with English Language Arts. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to See Results. I'm Miss Nyla, and you're now rejoining us for English Language Arts. So welcome, guys. I hope you're having a great day. And, of course, those of you joining us on our live stream on Facebook via the See Results page or the IBN TV 8 page, welcome. Right, so as you know, we are coming close to the end of this home stretch period, and we are continuing with our SEA ELA practice papers. So we have done quite a number of papers, probably actually over 10 papers, right? And I'm sure it's many more than that. From the very start of the program, we have been doing the different tasks throughout the paper, you know, analyzing, looking for errors. How do you identify errors? How do you correct those errors? How do you go about answering questions, right? So a lot of skills we have acquired so far. So we probably have a final paper we're going to try to get through between today and tomorrow, right, to wrap up ELA. So let's go ahead with our final ELA paper, right? So as you know, section 1 or task 1 includes spelling, your first task, punctuation, capitalization, and then your grammar task, right? So this is spelling, of course. The lines are open. Feel free to call us, and we do welcome new callers, right, to the program. I want someone to assist by reading the passage, and then we'll go through line by line. So let's take a call. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Good afternoon.
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
Zafira.
Hi, Zafira. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, Zafira, can you read this short passage for us here?
Yes.
Okay.
Corporal punishment should not be used in schools. It is a form of physical violence against children, and it teaches them that it is acceptable to solve problems by hitting instead of using words to solve arguments. Brute force and fear only serve to aggravate antisocial behavior.
Okay, great. So let's go back to line 1 there. What is the error? And of course, you can reread it if you like. What is the error there in that first line?
Corporal.
Right. And how should corporal be spelled?
C-O-R. P-U-L.
Can you repeat that?
C-O-R. P-U-L.
All right. So that is not quite correct. Would you like to give it another try? So you have identified the correct answer, but the correction is incorrect, okay? So we just need to spell that over.
C-O-R. C-O-R-P. O-U-L.
All right, so this is still incorrect, so stay tuned with us and we're going to get the correct spelling, okay?
Okay.
But thanks so much for calling.
You're welcome.
Right, so those of you at home, I do hope, right, by now some of you are grabbing your dictionaries if you're unsure. So let's see if the next caller can give us the correct spelling. Good evening, welcome to See Results. Hi, good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
Aiden Sigwam.
Hi, Aidan. So, can you give us the correct spelling of the word corporal there?
C-O-R-P-A-L.
All right. So, C-O-R-P-A-L, is it?
Yeah.
All right. So, that is still incorrect. Do you want to try again?
You could zoom in on the screen, please.
Sure. Can we just go to the screen there? So, look at it carefully.
C-O-R. C-O-R.
Yeah.
P. R-E-L.
All right. So, not quite. I'm going to sound it out for you, right? So, it's corporal.
Oh, C-O-R-P-A-L.
All right. So, that is not quite correct. Okay, so I'm going to take another call and let's see if I can get this one correct. Okay, stay tuned with us. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a final call. So, yes, we are seeing here 2 students having difficulty so far, right? Maybe this isn't one of the words that you come across quite frequently, but I'm happy we are coming across it here. Coming across this word here, simply because if you get this for the essay exam, well, look at that, right? You already had that opportunity. So let's take another call. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hi, afternoon.
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
This is Reagan. Hi.
Can you repeat that for me, please?
This is Reagan.
Hi, Reagan. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, Reagan, can you give us the correct spelling of the word corporal?
Corporal?
Yes.
Sure. C-O-U.
C-O-U.
C-O-U-R. Hold on.
Take your time.
Hold on. I could just sound it out for a sec.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Corporal. And we are accustomed with the word corporal punishment, as it is not allowed in school.
School, yeah.
Right? So that's forbidden. It's against the law.
C-O-U-R-P-R-A-L.
C-O-U-R-P-A-L?
P-R-A-L.
Can you spell it over for me?
C-O-U-R-P-R-A-L.
All right. So that's not quite correct either.
Sure.
Okay. Right. So, but thanks for calling. Right. I'm going to go on to number 2, and let's see if our next caller can probably give us the correct spelling on number 1. If not, I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys. So let's take one more call for number 1. Good evening. Welcome to Series Results.
Good afternoon.
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
Ethan John.
Ethan, is it? Did you say Ethan?
Yes.
Okay, Ethan.
Ethan John.
Right. So what's the correct spelling for the word corporal?
C-O-R-P-O-R-A-L.
Excellent. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Right, C-O-R-P-O-R-A-L, corporal punishments. I do hope you guys are taking note of the spelling of this word. Right, it's a term that you will come across throughout your school years. Right, so let's go on to number 2. I'm going to go ahead and wait for a call. The numbers are there for you to call us. Now, if you didn't get the first one correct, that's fine. You're allowed to make mistakes. Here's the time, right? Or now is the time, rather. So just learn from that, of course, and feel free to call us back, assist us with the following questions. Let's take another call. Good evening. Welcome to C Results.
Good afternoon.
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
Zafira again.
Okay, Zafira, help us with number 2.
Physical.
Physical, good. And give me the correct spelling for the word physical.
P-H-Y-S-C-I-S-A-L.
S-C. Can you repeat that for me?
Could you wait a minute while I get it up in the dictionary, please?
Sure. And those of you at home, of course, who are doing this exercise with us, you should, of course, try your hand first. I try to identify the incorrect word or the incorrectly spelled word, and give you a chance, give yourself a chance, to give the correct spelling of the word. And then when we are doing corrections, then you can correct, okay? So in that way, you truly know, what is your weak area, which word there you need to practice spelling. Okay, Zafira, did you find it?
Yes, P-H-Y-S-I-C-A-L.
Okay, great. Thank you, Zafira.
You're welcome.
Okay, right, so that's, of course, correct, and she did use a dictionary there. Let's take another call for number 3. Good evening. Welcome to C Results. Hi, good evening.
Hi, good.
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
Xiomara.
Can you repeat that for me?
Xiomara.
Nice to have you with us. Welcome. So, for number 3, what is incorrectly spelled word there?
The correctly spelled word is accept.
So, the incorrectly spelled
word is acceptable.
Good. And give us the correct spelling for the word acceptable.
The correctly spelled word is A-C-C-E-P-T-A-B-L-E.
E is a double P, you said?
Yes.
Okay. T-A-B-L-E?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a slight error there. See if you can identify it.
A-C-C-E-P-T-A-B-L-E.
Right, so it is 1 P rather than
Yes.
2 P's. Okay, great job. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
All right, so acceptable. Don't be deceived, right? So it's 1 P rather than double P. Let's go on. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hello?
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
This is Regan again.
Okay, Regan, go on to number 4.
To solve problems by hitting instead of using. So the wrong word is using. You have to drop the E.
Right, and can we just zoom on the board, please, guys? Right, so it's using, and spell the using for me.
U-S-I-N-G.
U-S-I-N-G, correct. Thank you, Regan.
No problem, bye.
Okay, and number 5 now. Good evening, welcome to See Results.
Wait, what? Oh, crap. The phone.
Hi, you are live on See Results. Who am I speaking with? Okay, I'm not sure if we lost that call there. All right, so let's move on to line 5. Words to solve arguments, brute force, and fear. So I'm going to hold on a couple seconds here. Let's see if someone can give me the correct spelling or identify, of course, the incorrectly spelled word and give us the correct spelling. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. Who am I speaking with?
Malia.
Nice to have you with us. So what is the incorrectly spelled word there? Line 5.
Argument.
Arguments. And what is the correct spelling?
A-R-G-U-M-E-N-T.
E-N-T-S. Excellent job. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
All right. And finally, number 6. Good evening. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to See Results. Hi, caller. You are live on See Results. Who am I speaking with? Good evening. Are you there? Right. Just a reminder, of course, to listen to me on the telephone rather than on the television. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Please.
All right. Let's try another call. Good evening. Welcome to See Results. Okay, so again, feedback, right, guys? So let's just read that last line. Brute force and fear only serve to aggravate antisocial behavior, right? I'm going to hold on a couple seconds. Let's see if we have a final caller to wrap up task 1. In the meantime, I do want to go back to the very top, starting with corporal punishment. Right, so corporal punishment should not be used in schools. So, of course, the error there was corporal. So, we had quite a number of students who had a little bit of problems to spell the word corporal. Right, it's a matter of sounding it out. I know it might sound like as though it has a U. Right, maybe this is one of those words that you can actually practice spelling. Right, and we do have a call on the line. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Good evening. This is Ethan again.
Hi, Ethan. Welcome back. So, help us with number 6.
The word is aggravate.
Aggravate, and give me the correct spelling.
A-G-G-R-A-V-A-T-E.
Excellent, Ethan. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Of course, I'm going to pause on the calls, right? Let's move on to number 2. It is a form of physical violence against, right? So, physical there, S-I-C-A-L rather than C-I-A-L. Right, physical is a word that you will frequently come across, so of course you should learn to spell that word physical. Children, and it teaches them that it is acceptable. So here you have to know the correct suffix to use, and it's A-B-L-E rather than I-B-L-E. Right, moving on to number 4, using. So using there, use will be the root word when we're adding ing to this word. This is one of the cases where you have to drop that E and then add ing, right? Words to solve, arguments. Arguments here, we should leave out that E. There is no E between the U and the M, simply A-R-G-U-M-E-N-T-S, right? Of course, this one here is a little bit tricky. You can be easily confused as you would usually, or you may leave that E from the root word argue, right? A-R-G-U-E. when you're adding your suffix there, meant, right? Instead, you drop the E and then you add your suffix. Only serve to aggravate antisocial behavior. Aggravate, we have to double the consonant as there's a vowel before, right? So I do hope some of you were able to get a full 12 marks in this first task, right? And those of you who weren't, I want you to really reflect on it and, of course, learn those words by the end of the week if you can. All right, so moving on to capitalization and punctuation. Let's take a call so someone can help us read. Good evening. Welcome to C Results. Hi, good evening, caller.
It's Aaron again. It's Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. Welcome. So, Aaron, can you assist us by reading the short passage?
Yes. You can zoom in a little.
Sure. Just give it a second. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Have
great.
you heard the latest with the advent of email? Gossip has now gone. High-speed email is world's greatest gossip engine. Someone can start with something that is misstatement.
Good.
Suddenly, thousands of people are potentially privy to it. My goodness.
Okay, good. I just want to go back to this word here, and this word is actually tech, okay? High tech. So, okay. Aaron, let's go back to the first line here. Have you heard the latest with the... So, we are on punctuation and capitalization, right? So, we know that we have to insert the missing punctuation letter or the missing capital letter. So, help us here. Which is it in the first line?
A question mark after latest.
Excellent. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
Right. Let's take another call. Good evening. Welcome to C Results.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome.
This is Jaden.
Hi, Javen. How are you?
Good, miss.
Okay, great. So, help us with number 8. And we can just go to the screen.
Can you zoom in a little, please?
Sure. Just give it a couple seconds.
Okay, miss.
Can you see it now?
Yes, miss.
Okay. You can read the line for us and give us the answer.
Advent of email gossip has now gone. Miss, I think you're putting a capital M for mail.
Not quite, no. Look at it closely. Read the line. You can probably read from the beginning of the sentence. That may help you a bit. Are you there?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Give it another try.
I think you're putting a comma after gossip.
With the advent of email, gossip. So you are right with the comma, right? But it's where you are placing the comma. So with the advent of email, gossip has now gone. So try again. Where will we insert that comma? So we are using a comma, but where?
After advent?
Not quite. So I'm going to help you here, right? With the advent of email, comma, right? So this is what you call a dependent clause, right? So we have a dependent clause here, so a comma is required after that clause. Do you understand? So when you are reading it now, we will say, with the advent of email, gossip has now gone high-tech. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's take another call. Good evening. Welcome to C Results.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good evening. You are live. Who am I speaking with?
Aiden Siglam.
Hi, Aiden. So help us with number 9 here.
Okay, you could please zoom in.
Sure.
Email is a words. It's apostrophe S.
Right, so it's world apostrophe S.
Yes.
Thank you for calling.
Bye.
All right, so world's greatest gossip engine. Someone can start with something. Right, so in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead with this line as we don't have another caller. Right, gossip engine, of course, we know here is very simple for us to find out what is the answer. Simply, it's a capital S. Right, there's a full stop right before that S, which is an indication that it's the beginning of a new sentence. Right, let's move on. Someone can start with something that's a misstatement and suddenly thousands off. Good evening, welcome to C Results. Hi, good evening, caller.
Someone can start. Hello?
Hi, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, who am I speaking with?
This is Reagan again.
Okay, Reagan, number 11. I'm just going to zoom in there for you.
Sure. Hold on. Just zoom in a little bit there, thanks. Someone can start with something that's in the statement. Okay, so it's supposed to be a comma after suddenly.
All right, so let's see. Someone can start with something that's a misstatement and suddenly thousands of people are potentially privy to it. Look again closely and see if there's another error there. Look at it word by word.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so I think it's supposed to, hold on. I think it's supposed to have a hyphen for misstatement.
Not exactly, no. Misstatement is fine as is.
Okay.
But we add a prefix to the word statement. All right, so let me give you a clue here. All right, that's a misstatement. So the word that's here, what does this mean?
Oh, okay. Apostrophe S for that.
Apostrophe S. So you see how easy it is to bypass that, okay?
Yeah, it is.
It is. So
It
thank you
happened to me in class already.
Yeah, because sometimes you are reading and you are reading it correctly and you know you're not seeing that error because you are seeing it correctly. But thanks so much for calling.
No problem, bye.
Bye. Right, and I will share a little bit about that shortly, and let's do the final question here. Good evening, welcome to C Results.
Hello.
Hi, good evening, caller.
It's Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. Help us with number 12.
Number 12 is exclamation. It's an exclamation mark.
Where?
After goodness.
After goodness. Excellent, Aaron. Thanks for your call.
You're
Okay, guys, so have you heard the latest? Of course, we know this is a question, right? The word have there was your indication. Tells us it's a question. With the advent of email, comma, as I said, this is a dependent clause, right? You can probably go back to our lesson with dependent and independent clauses and the use of commas. Gossip has now gone high-tech. Email is the world's greatest, right? So world's here shows ownership, so hence the apostrophe S. Greatest gossip engine. Someone can start with something, right? Capital S for someone as it is the start of a sentence. That's a misstatement and suddenly thousands off. So that apostrophe S here is different from words here. Words here is showing ownership while apostrophe S here shows us that it's a contraction, right? Which is short for that is. So know the difference with your apostrophe in both cases and how it is used. A misstatement and suddenly thousands of people are potentially privy to it. My goodness, an expression. So simply we use an exclamation point. Right, and let's go to the final task of section 1, which is grammar. Right, let's take a call to someone to assist us. Good evening, welcome to C Results. Hi, walaikum assalam. Who am I speaking with?
Riaz.
Okay, Riaz, welcome. How are you doing?
Everything good?
Okay, Riaz, can you read this passage for us?
Yes. My brother had a job in a larger company. He enjoyed working there, so because he thought it could be run more efficiently. He thought by quitting his job, since he was worried about not being able to find another job easy. Eventually, he moved to a smaller company.
Great. So let's go back to the first line there. You can read the line for us again and give us, or point out the error and give us the correction.
Okay. My brother had a job in a larger company. The error would be larger. Larger.
Larger, and what should it be?
It should be just large.
Just large. Excellent. Do you know why?
Yes, because if you have larger, that means it will be comparing to another company, but right now they aren't comparing anything.
Excellent, right? It is not a comparative noun in this case, right? It's just simply the positive form large. So thank you for calling. All right, good evening. Welcome to C Results. Hi, good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome back. So help us with number 14, Jaden.
Can you zoom in a little, please?
Yes, just give it a second. And I said noun earlier as I was speaking about comparing nouns, right? So here's an actually comparative adjective. In this case, the word larger is, right? But we know it's taking the form or the positive form large rather than larger. So he enjoys working there, but he thought it. If you would like, you can continue reading until the end of the sentence, and I always encourage students to do that, right? It gives you the entire idea of the sentence.
Okay, miss. He enjoys working there, but he thought it could be run more efficiently.
Right. What do you think is your error here?
Miss, the error is not supposed to be but.
So give me the correct, read the line with the correction then.
He enjoys working there, and he thought it could be run more efficiently.
All right, so that's not quite correct. Try again.
Mrs. the wrong there?
Yeah, so but is correctly used here, right? So the error is not but. Look at the first sentence and then read the second one. Maybe that might help a bit. Look at it very closely. Look at the tense of that sentence. What tense is used in the first sentence here?
Past tense.
Past tense. So in the second sentence then, what do we have to use?
You have to use a word that is in the past.
Past tense also. Now, how can we identify this error, right, if we are not sure? Let me just point out to you guys at one time, right? So my brother had. So past tense, he enjoyed. So your answer here will be enjoyed rather than enjoys. And how do we know that? If we go on to the following sentence, it says he thought. Isn't thought in the past tense as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Since he worried, also past tense, right? Eventually he moved. So the tense throughout this passage is actually past tense, right? So that's an indication there, or one way to look at it if you're having difficulty identifying what is the error. Always pay close attention to the tense used in the passage, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So stay with us. You can probably help us with the next one. Would you like to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So just give me 1 second there. Good. Go on to number 15. Now here it can be a little tricky, as we just spoke about tense. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
I think the error is could.
Could, and what am I changing could to?
Can.
Not quite. Can and could be used interchangeably sometimes. So that's not the error there. So let's see. But he thought it could be run more efficiently. He thought. Right? So when I say he thought it could be run more efficiently.
No, miss.
What will I say then?
Could have.
All right. I understand where you're coming from. But no. So I'm going to go ahead here and share with you. Right? But he thought it could be run more efficiently. Now, because the tense throughout this passage here is past tense, you can be confused when you see the verb here, run. Because now you are thinking, well, she just said the passage is written in past tense. But you have to look at your lines and your sentences carefully and analyze each sentence. Now, and it says could be. So could is a modal verb which suggests a possibility, right? Something is going to happen, right? So could be run more efficiently. So can and could and all of those modal verbs are associated with the future tense. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so could be run more efficiently. Now tell me, right, will you say, or which one makes more sense to you? I thought it could be run more efficiently, or I thought it could be run more efficiently.
It's the second sentence.
The second sentence, right? Okay, great. Thank you so much for calling, Javen, and thanks for all your help.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And I do hope that, you know, you were able to recognize the errors that you made and learn from it, right? Remember, this is a learning experience, and we are here to learn. We do have some time before the SE exam, don't worry. Good,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
let's move on to number 16, right? So I'm going to hold on a couple seconds for another call. In the meantime, let's read that line. He thought about quitting his job since he worried about, right? Now, in the meantime, I'm going to recap number 13, 14, and 15 until we have another call there. Right? So my brother had a job in a larger company. And as we said before, here's when we're using the positive, the comparative, and the superlative form. Right? In this case, we are not comparing anything. Right? So it's simply used or left in the positive state. Right? So my brother had a job. Right? So it's one job. He isn't comparing between 2 or even 3 jobs. He enjoyed working there, but he thought it, right? So just as I mentioned, you have to look at the tense very closely in your passage, right? So don't just say, you know what, I'm going to read the passage and then I'm going to go line by line. As you are reading, I want you to pay attention to the details given, right? How it is written, right? On the tense actually used throughout your passage. Usually, there is always one of the sentences there or a question that will come that deals with the entire tense of the passage and recognizing the use of the tense throughout the passage, right? So that is something you can keep it to the back of your mind when you are doing your grammar task, right? And we have another call on the line. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hello?
Hi, good evening, caller. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so who am I speaking with?
Samia.
Okay, Samia, help us with number 16.
This woman, please. Miss, it should be centric in subplot.
Excellent. Tell me why.
Because sense doesn't really make sense in context.
Can you repeat that?
Sense doesn't make sense in context, but does because
Yes.
he's doubting.
Okay, great. Right, so that's a good rationale and you are actually correct. Right, so thanks for calling. Right, and I will give you a further explanation about this shortly. Let's go to number 17 in the meantime. Good evening, welcome to See Results.
Hello?
Hi, good evening. Who am I speaking with?
Iran.
Hi, Aidan. Welcome back. So, number 17. What is the grammatical error here?
Okay. You could just zoom in?
Sure. Just give it 1 second.
Okay. The grammatical error will be easy. It's supposed to be easily.
Excellent, right?
Yes.
So great. Thank you so much for calling.
Welcome.
So guys, it's time for Maghrib. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to complete and wrap up section 1 and head on to section 2. So stay tuned with us. We'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to C Results. I'm Miss Nyla, and you're rejoining us for English Language Arts. So just to wrap up our final task, we have one more question left, right? So let's take a call, and let's complete this. Good evening. Welcome to C Results.
Hello, Miss.
Hi, good evening. Who am I speaking with?
Michaela White.
Hi, Michaela. How are you?
Good.
Okay, Michaela, can you help us with that last question on number 18 there?
Yes. Eventually, he moved to an even smaller company.
So I think unconsciously you said the answer, but I'm going to give you a second to tell us, okay?
Okay.
I think it comes natural in a case like this.
E to change to N.
Exactly. Right, so thank you, Michaela.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, so let's pause for a second and review. So we already discussed number 13, 14, and 15, right? So let's look at number 16. He thought about quitting his job since he worried about not being able to find another job. Easy, right? So incorrect use of conjunction here, rather it's but instead of since, right? But here gives us like a contrast of what is happening instead of the word since, right? And like the caller said who gave us this answer, even when you are reading it, right, that might come as a hint to you. It comes naturally, right, that you say but rather than since. May or may not happen, right? He worried about not being able to find another job easily, right? So it's the adverb easily rather than easy. Eventually, he moved to an even smaller company. So we know an is used before vowel or vowel sounds. A is used before consonant sounds, right, or consonant letters, right? So again, with 12 marks, and I hope you were able to get all 12 marks here. So that's 30 marks in the first section, right? So mark yourselves, guys. So we're going to take a call. Someone is going to assist us to read this comprehension fiction passage, and then we're going to answer some questions. Good evening. Welcome to See Results. Okay, we lost that call there, right? Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hello?
Hi, good evening. Who am I speaking with?
Aaron again.
Okay, Aaron, great. So help us read, Aaron.
Okay, one day when Ali Baba was in the forest and had just cut enough wood to load his donkeys, he saw at a great distance a great cloud of dust which seemed to approach him. He observed it with attention and soon distinguished a body of horsemen, whom he suspected might be robbers. To save himself, he determined to leave his donkeys, and after driving them into a thicket out of sight, he climbed a large tree growing on a high rock. Its branches were thick enough to conceal him and yet enable him to see all that passed.
Just give it a second, you'll see it.
Okay. The horsemen numbered 40 and were all well mounted and armed. They came to the foot of the rock on which the tree stood there and dismounted. Every man unbridled his horse, tied it to a shrub, and gave it a feed of corn from a bag he had brought behind him. Then each of them removed his saddlebag, which seemed to Ali Baba that to be full of gold and silver from its weight. One, whom he took to be the captain, came under the tree in which Ali Baba was hidden and making his way through some bushes, pronounced the words, open Simsim.
Can you see the slide?
As soon as the captain of the robbers has thus spoken, a door opened in the rock, and after he had made all his troops enter before him, he followed them. When the door shut off itself, the robbers stayed some time within the rock, during which time Ali Baba, fearful of being caught, remained in the tree. At last, the door opened again, and the captain came out first and stood to see all the troops all pass by him. And when Ali Baba heard him make the door close by pronouncing these words, "Shot Sim Sim." Every man at once bridled his horse and mounted. When the captain saw them all ready, he put himself at their head, and they returned the way they had come. Ali Baba followed them with his eyes as far as he could see them, and afterwards stayed a considerable time before he descended, remembering the words the captain of the robbers used to cause the door to open and shut. He had the curiosity to try if his pronouncing them would have the same effect.
Great. So, read number 19 for us.
From the story, complete the following statements. The main character is Ali Baba.
Right.
The story took place in a forest.
Great job. Thank you for all your help.
You're welcome.
Right, and that's of course correct. The main character was Ali Baba, and the story took place in a forest. All right, let's take another call. 2 examples of imagery from paragraph 1R. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome back, Jaden. So we're looking at 2 examples of imagery from paragraph 1. Right, so my first question, of course, is what is imagery?
Miss, imagery is a scene that the reader can picture in their mind.
Right, gives a visual representation. So let's look at the first paragraph here, and I want you to give me 2 examples. Are you there, Jaden?
Yes, miss.
Okay.
Missing the third line.
Read it for us.
Distance a great cloud of dust which seemed to approach him.
Good. And what else? Any other examples there? You can read the last 3 lines. Maybe that might help.
Miss, I think the last line.
Being what? Enabled him to see all that past?
Yes, miss.
All right, okay. There is another example there, so I'm going to share that with you. But thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
Right, so a great cloud of dust, or he climbed a large tree growing on a high rock. Its branches were thick enough to conceal him, right? So this word should be thick rather than think, right? So a couple examples you could have given there from that paragraph. All right, let's take another call. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
This is Nicholas.
How are you, Nicholas?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, Nicholas. So read number 21 for us.
Write a phrase which appeals to the sense of hearing from the story.
Good. So you can probably take your time, read this through. Anything there?
Yeah, I just looking.
Okay. Read to the end of the paragraph.
Okay. Open sesame appeal to the sense of hearing.
Great. So that's correct, right? Of course, you could have read this as well, but it's the same thing. If you look to the bottom of the paragraph here, shut sim sim, right? We are accustomed with the phrase sesame or sesame or whatever it is, right? So, Nicholas, let me ask you, are you excited to go back out to school?
Yes, I am excited.
All right, great. So
I can't wait to back to see my friends.
I know. A lot of you are. All right, well, thanks again, Nicholas, for your call.
All right, okay, you're welcome.
Okay, so the phrase is pronounce the words open sim sim or shut sim sim. Either of those will be correct, right? What is the meaning of the phrase all that passed, line 6, as used in the story? Right, so let's go to line 6 there. Right, and I highlighted it actually, so it's not exactly line 6 according to how it was written in the book, right? But here it's highlighted for you. So its branches were thick enough to conceal him and yet enabled him to see all that passed. Oh, great. We have a call on the line. Good evening. Welcome to See Results. Hi, good evening, caller. Are you there? You are live on See Results?
Yes.
Okay, who am I speaking with?
Amelia.
Hi, Amelia. Welcome to the program. So, did you get a chance to read the question?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Take your time. You can even read it aloud for the audience. And we're just going to go to the screen there for you.
I am not seeing it.
Okay, give it a second. All right, there's a 2-3 seconds delay sometimes. Are you seeing it now? What is the meaning of?
Yeah, what is the meaning of all that past line?
Right, so,
okay.
So as used in the story, line 6, and like I said, it's not exactly line 6, but I did highlight that phrase for you so you can read the entire sentence and give us the meaning.
Okay.
What do you think they're referring to when they say all that past?
They're referring to... Okay, go back this story. Okay. Everybody that passed?
Right, so the people or the bandits or whoever he was hiding from, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me just ask you, right? Its branches were thick enough to conceal him. What does this word conceal here mean? What do you think that word means there?
They could hold him.
All right, so this word conceal actually means to hide, right? So if we look at the context of it where they say the branches were thick enough, can we hide behind a thick branch? Probably can, yeah. Okay? So that's what they mean by conceal him here, right? So this was essential or well, thank you so much for calling. Right, so this here was essential or crucial, you know, helping you to figure out that answer. So you had to know the meaning of the word conceal here, right? And then go on to read the rest of that and give us the meaning. So all that past means everything that took place, referring to the people, you know, who he was hiding from and so on. Right, guys, so we are out of time for today, but don't worry, tomorrow we have ELA again and creative writing, of course. Those of you requesting that we read some of your submissions from that story given the week before, Lost in the Mall, I will do so tomorrow. And of course, we will read some of the incident reports as well. Right? Those of you wishing to join our Edmodo class, you are free to do so. Although we are very close to the end and wrapping up this season, or season 1 of the program, right, all the mathematics and English language arts quizzes will remain open for those of you who did not take those quizzes as yet, right? So those are open. You are feel free to join the class and, of course, take those quizzes. They are self-marked, so you will get the results immediately, right? Of course, for this week, we have a special assignment for creative writing, so take a look at that, skim it through. And of course, you are free to submit, just as Seja said, in the form of a poem, probably art, a video. You can even write a short story for us, whichever you prefer. we are definitely looking forward to that. So tomorrow, ensure that you join us. Let's complete our last and final practice paper, and of course get into that creative writing, right? For those last tips and reminders and whatever else we will need in order to get ready for SC exam. Additionally, you know that there are lots and lots of videos uploaded on our YouTube channel, right? So all the episodes here that took place, we have them on our YouTube channel. Those of you who did not review them as yet, probably new to the class, you can go ahead over to our YouTube channel and check out those videos. We have content on every single task in ELA, right? Starting with spelling, how to even identify spelling errors, how to rectify spelling errors. So we started at the very basics and, of course, completed all the way through to the graphic, right? So we have tips for all of those and ways that you can improve in your ELA paper, in your mathematics, and, of course, in creative writing. Okay, guys, so that's all the time we have for today. So do have a pleasant evening, right? Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys.